If you've ever dreamed of living surrounded by water in a floating community, let me introduce you to Makoko, a paradise in Nigeria, but not exactly the kind that appears on postcards. Here the houses don't rest on solid ground, but on a cocktail of floating trash, black waters, and rotting logs. The air is an unparalleled sensory experience, combining the smell of decomposing fish, wood smoke, and a touch of fermented excrement. Luxury tourism? No, but it is definitely an unforgettable experience. While on Banana Island, Nigeria's elite enjoy mansions with paradise-like views and private beaches. In Makoko, people row over waters so contaminated that they could easily be considered radioactive material. Fishing is an art. To find a fish that doesn't have 3 eyes or glow in the dark, you have to row miles beyond the floating trash patch. And the bathrooms, well, they are holes that lead directly into the same lake from which they catch the fish. Everything gets recycled, but not everything is tragedy in Makoko. Here the people are resilient. Children without schools find ways to learn the basics while rowing among mountains of waste. Mothers sell floating food regardless of the smell of sewage, and men work in clandestine refineries, playing with fire. Literally, this is just a piece of Nigeria. We'll also explore Lagos, the city of chaos, where the night never ends, and people drink as if there's no tomorrow. We'll visit markets where a train passes just centimeters from the vendors, and meet the Hyena Tamers who challenge death every day. Are you ready to discover the rawest and most fascinating side of Nigeria? Like and subscribe for more uncensored content. Let's get started. Nigeria, the giant of Africa, the most populous country on the continent with over 220 million inhabitants. Lagos, the most populated city in Nigeria and all of Africa. It is estimated that more than 21 million people live there. But there's a problem. The census in Lagos is inaccurate, so no one knows the exact number of residents. Some say it could be up to 25 million. Now, if you're wondering whether life in Lagos is expensive or cheap, the answer is that it's a popular shopping destination because things are affordable, and thousands of Nigerians travel there to buy wholesale. If you ever visit Lagos, you'll see something curious. Its buses are not like those in other cities. Here they are yellow vans called danfo, where people cram in to navigate the hellish traffic. Nigeria is the African country that consumes the most alcohol, and Lagos is the party epicenter. The nightlife is lively, full of bars and clubs where Afrobeat and local hip-hop music make the city never sleep. Even international artists like Chris Brown have enjoyed Lagos's vibrant nightlife scene. Among the most popular drinks are palm wine, a traditional fermented beverage, and the strong ogogoro, a distilled liquor similar to rum. Did you know that Nigeria is the African country with the highest alcohol consumption? Tell me in the comments. Despite being the economic center, Lagos is no longer the capital of Nigeria, as it was replaced by Abuja in 1991 to decentralize power. Of course, but Lagos has a place where luxury reaches another level, Banana Island. While Lagos is chaotic, Banana Island is an artificial island filled with mansions valued at millions of dollars. It is the place where Nigeria's wealthiest live, including Aliko Dangote, the richest man in Africa, and the famous singer Davido. On Banana Island are some of the most exclusive beaches and coastlines in Nigeria, such as Elegushi Beach and Tarkwa Bay. Additionally, Lagos offers other must-visit destinations like Nike Art Gallery, a cultural center full of traditional and contemporary art, and Lekki Conservation Center, a natural reserve with the longest hanging bridge in Africa, perfect for nature lovers. Now we travel to a completely different place, Makoko, a floating city in Lagos, but not of luxury, rather of extreme poverty. While in Banana Island, the wealthy enjoy mansions with sea views and dream pools. In Makoko, the roofs are made of rusty sheets, and the houses float over a thick stew of garbage. Here there are no paradisiacal beaches, but a large lagoon of waste, where the water's color changes, depending on what people have thrown in that day. Imagine living surrounded by piles of floating trash, rotten water, and a constant smell of death. But here people continue with their lives, fishing in water so contaminated it looks like a soup of toxins. But don't worry, still they keep eating those fish because hunger isn't stopped by a little poison. And if they want to catch something fresh, they have to row beyond the trash barrier to where the water no longer has black foam and the fish don't look radioactive. Here the bathrooms are hanging latrines that drop directly into the water, turning the river into a mixture of excrement and trash. How can they continue living like this? To make matters worse, potable water is a luxury that few can afford. Those who can buy it bring it in floating jerry cans tied to their canoes, while those who can't drink directly from the lake and cross their fingers to avoid getting cholera or malaria. Makoko's children are not lucky either. There used to be a floating school, a small ray of hope that stayed afloat, until a storm decided that enough optimism had been enough for Makoko and destroyed it without a trace. Now education is just a myth for most children, who spend their days paddling through trash or helping their parents sell food from their canoes, because if something doesn't kill you, it will surely sell. Meanwhile, on Banana Island, millionaires enjoy air conditioning, bottled water, and infinity pools, without even glancing at Makoko, the place society has decided to forget, because it's easier to ignore it than to fix it. Makoko is also synonymous with crime. Many criminals come from here to steal and extort luxury cars on the Lekki Ikoyi Bridge, the longest in Africa. This bridge was inaugurated in 2013 and connects wealthy areas with Makoko, but it is also a hotspot for robberies. Nigeria is one of the world's largest oil producers, and the Niger Delta is its black jewel. But there is also a major problem here: pollution caused by oil refining and frequent spills. In addition to industrial refineries, the Niger Delta has artisanal refineries where workers operate without any protection, risking their health through direct contact with highly toxic chemicals. These men spend hours in extreme conditions, exposed to crude vapors, high temperatures, and explosions without any safety equipment. Many end up with serious respiratory problems and burns, but they continue nonetheless because it is their only source of income. Another interesting fact about Nigeria is the market, where a train passes right through the middle of the stalls. People set up their businesses in such a way that when the train passes, they simply gather their things and put them back in place. In Nigeria, there are peculiar business practices, such as street nail-cutting services and barbers working right on the sidewalk with just a simple mirror and a chair. Did you know that in Nigeria there are people with portable machines that function like ATMs? They are called data so, and they are a solution to the lack of banks. And to end on a high note, in Nigeria, there is also the tradition of hyena tamers. These men not only train and display these formidable beasts on the streets as part of shows, but they also use them in rituals of power and protection. For many, hyenas are symbols of strength and mysticism, and it is believed that those who manage to tame them gain supernatural abilities. These handlers wear thick chains around the animals' necks and make them perform tricks in markets and squares, while the crowd watches with awe and fear. Despite the obvious danger, the Tamers claim to have a special bond with these predators, although some say they use herbs and traditional magic to control them. Nigeria is a country of extreme contrasts, from overflowing wealth to the deepest misery. What do you think about this country? Leave your comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and give it a like for more impactful content.